While I was at work, my parents invited my kids over for Christmas, then sat them at a servant's table and made them watch their cousins open real gifts. My daughter was given a roll of toilet paper. My son got a note, "Ask your dad why you're not worth it." I got angry and didn't confront them. I knew this wouldn't go unpunished. I started constructing a revenge so brutal, so personal. It would shatter them. Today, it began. Now they're screaming, "What did you do? You're destroying the family." All right, so I wasn't even going to post about this. Honestly, I'm still kind of in the "did that really just happen" zone. But to be honest, I don't want to just stew alone. Plus, I can already tell I'm going to need the receipts. So, yeah, if you've got strong opinions about family always comes first or forgive and forget, this probably isn't your thread. I'm not here for closure. I'm here for the next steps. So, I'm once loyal, 33, 2 kids, Leah, 9, and Crew, 12, married. Not rich, but we get by. My parents live like, I don't know, 20 minutes from us, bigger place. Still the same house I grew up in. I don't get along with them much lately, but we've always done the keep up appearances thing for holidays because my wife Savannah thinks it's important for the kids to have family, even if it's awkward as fuck. My brother Dale and his wife Sophia are the golden family. Always have been. And their kids are those kids who get the latest Switch or whatever drops in September, while mine are happy with a new hoodie and a trip to the movies. That's never been a problem for context. My parents have always made it clear I'm not their favorite. Like, not even subtle. Every family dinner, Dale gets the "so proud of you." I get you should really think about your future. I'm not a victim. Just saying it's always been obvious. They weren't stoked when I married Savannah. She's not from their circle. Whatever. Don't care. And after the kids were born, my mom got even colder. Like, she thought I'd finally come to my senses, and I just didn't. Anyway, this year, Christmas was on a Monday, which sucked because I couldn't get the day off, but my parents asked to have Leah and Crew over anyway. I figured, sure, let them have some fun. I'll pick them up after work. No big deal. Savannah was supposed to go too, but she got sick, so she stayed home. I left the kids with my parents that morning. Everything seemed normal. Mom was acting all cheery. Dad was already glued to his phone. Nothing new. So, I finish work, shoot my mom a text, "I'll be there soon." And when I arrive, first thing I notice is the house is dead quiet except for some weird laughter coming from the back. Like, not funny ha-ha laughter. More like something's off laughter, which, yeah, should have been my warning. I walk in. Nobody in the main room. I find Leah in the kitchen just sitting on the little step stool hugging a roll of toilet paper. I legit thought she was sick or something. I ask her what's up, but she just shrugs and says nothing. I ask where Crew is and she kind of points to the backyard. I go out there and see Crew just sitting by himself on the swing. Phone in his lap, not talking, not even looking up. Dale's kids are unboxing gifts with my parents and Dale and Sophia, all loud and excited. I ask Crew if he's okay, and he just says he's ready to go home. Doesn't even look at me. Just stands up and heads in. Non-guilt, I was like, what the hell happened here? I go back in. Leah is still holding that damn toilet paper. I try to get her to let go, but she just shakes her head and says, it's hers. Grandma gave it to her. So now I'm properly weirded out. I find my mom. She's in the dining room with Sophia and my dad. And I ask if everything's all right. She does that fake smile thing, says the kids got a little emotional. But it's Christmas. Everyone just needs a nap. My dad doesn't even look up. Just tells me to take care of my own. Dale's not in sight, but I hear him laughing in the other room. I get Leah and Crew's stuff together. Say thanks, couldn't even get the words out properly, and get them in the car. Leah finally lets go of the toilet paper and hands it to me. Says she doesn't want it after all. On the way home, Savannah texts me asking if everything went okay, and I say, not really. Kids are both super quiet, not fighting, not even on their phones, just staring out the window. When we get home, Savannah's waiting, looking stressed. She asks what happened, and I'm like, I don't know, you're going to have to ask them. I tell the kids to go change and come back so we can talk. Leah just goes straight to her room, closes the door. Crew comes back out and hands me a folded piece of paper. I open it, and it's just this note written in my dad's handwriting. Literally says, "Ask your dad why you're not worth it." That's it. Just those words. I show it to Savannah. She just sits down and stares at it. Doesn't say anything for a minute. After a while, I ask Crew what happened, and he just shrugs and says, he and Leah weren't allowed to sit at the big table. Had to sit at a little folding table in the corner. And when everyone got gifts, they both got joke gifts. He got the note. Leah got toilet paper. Then they just had to sit there and watch the cousins open all their stuff. Nobody said anything. Nobody stopped it. Dale's kids laughed. My parents didn't say a word. Just kept passing gifts around. I go talk to Leah. She's in her room crying. Says she doesn't want to go back to Grandma's house ever again. Savannah tries to hug her, but Leah just pushes her away and slams the door. I hear Crew in the hallway mumbling that he hates Christmas. Now that's when I don't know. Something in me snapped. I don't even get mad like this usually, but this was something else. I call my mom and she sends me straight to voicemail. I text her. Nothing. I call my dad. He picks up. Tells me he's busy and that if I want to know why my kids are so soft, maybe I should look in the mirror. I hang up. Savannah says we should just forget it. Let it go. But nah, I can't. I know exactly why they did it. My parents always thought I was a screw-up, and now they want my kids to feel small, too. They want to make it clear that only Dale's side matters. Only their real family gets treated right. It's always been like this, but never at my kids. That's aligned so. I start going through my phone, looking at all the stuff I handle. They're not as independent as everyone thinks. I remember all the ways I make their life easier, all the stuff I pay for, all the things I fix, all the favors I do, all the little things that keep their house running. And I think, why should I? Why should I keep playing along when they treat my kids like dirt? I don't sleep that night. I just keep thinking about Leah clutching that roll of toilet paper and Crew with that note in his pocket and my parents acting like it's nothing. And I want to break something. I want to shout at them, show up at their stupid house, and throw all their precious crap out the window, but I don't. I decide I'm done being quiet. Next morning, I tell Savannah I'm not letting this go. She looks scared, but I'm not asking for permission. I tell her I'm going to handle it my way and then I start planning. That's how this started. I know I'm not supposed to burn bridges, but those bridges were already on fire. I'm not just walking away. They wanted to make my kids feel worthless. Nah, they're about to find out what it feels like. I'll update when it gets going. Trust. It's not going to be nice. Update 1. So yeah, this is once loyal again. I didn't sleep much after all that. Not even going to lie. And if you read the first post, you'll get why. Savannah tried to talk me down. Said stuff like not letting them win by losing my cool. But nah, I was past that. I was done playing keep the peace. And honestly, after how my parents acted, I wasn't even sure what winning meant anymore. All I knew was I was not letting it slide. So here's what happened next. First weird thing, my mom texted me the morning after. Super chipper. Asking if the kids recovered from their tantrums. Like she tried to act like nothing happened or like my kids were the problem. Didn't mention the note. Didn't mention the servants' table. Just this fake friendly vibe. And honestly, it made me even more pissed. I didn't answer. I just left the message sitting there. Here's the thing people don't get. My parents aren't rich, but they act like big house, lots of appearances. But beneath all that, they rely on me for a lot of stuff. I'm not bragging. It's just facts. I've been the one handling their random home repairs, helping with bills when stuff gets tight, doing grocery runs when they forget, picking up their meds, all that. They've always expected me to do it because family helps family. But apparently that rule stops at my kids. So day after Christmas, I just stopped cold turkey. I didn't call them. Didn't answer any messages. Didn't ask if they needed anything. Normally I'd be over there fixing something. Light out in the bathroom, broken faucet, whatever. Not this time. I saw a message from my dad asking if I could swing by and check the Wi-Fi because their connection is acting up. I just left it on read. It felt weird, not going to lie, but also kind of good. Next day, I see Dale posted some smug family photos on his Instagram. Everyone crowded around the main table. Big stack of gifts. My kids aren't anywhere in the shot. I show it to Savannah and she just rolls her eyes. Tells me to let it go. I can't. I texted Dale and asked if he had any pictures of Leah and crew from Christmas. He just says, "Nah, they weren't really in the mood and maybe I should talk to my kids about their attitude." I didn't respond. He knows what happened. He's always been the favorite. Always got away with stuff, so of course he's not going to back me up. Here's where it started to get interesting. My parents rely on me for a lot of errands, but they also depend on me financially, way more than anyone realizes. I pay for some stuff directly, but also I've been covering a few regular things that got set up ages ago, like their phone plan and a monthly bill for lawn care, plus some other things I won't list here because I'm not trying to dox myself. I didn't cancel anything yet. But I messaged the companies and changed the payment method to their account instead of mine. I get a call from my mom that night. She sounds annoyed, asking if I forgot to pay the phone bill. I just said, "Nah, I didn't forget. I'm just not paying for it anymore." She gets all huffy, says I'm overreacting and acting childish. I just told her to use her own money for a while. She hangs up on me. The next day, I get a call from Dale. And this guy never calls me unless he wants something. He's trying to play peacemaker, saying, "Mom's upset. Dad's worried about me. And maybe I should just be the bigger man." I ask him straight up if he thinks his kids would be okay getting a note like the one crew got. He just gets real quiet, then says I'm being dramatic and it was just a joke. I hang up. I start getting texts from my Aunt Harper asking if everything's all right because Mom called her crying about how I'm cutting them off. I tell her exactly what happened, just the facts. No yelling, no drama, just my kids were put at a separate table, got nothing for Christmas except a roll of toilet paper and a nasty note. And my parents think that's fine. She doesn't believe it at first, asks for proof. I text her a pic of the note. No reply for hours. Later, she texts back saying she's sorry and that she'll talk to them, whatever that means. So now I'm getting messages from random cousins on Facebook like, "Hey, what's going on with your parents? Are you okay?" And suddenly I'm the one making a scene because I won't just let it go. I send the same thing to everyone. Here's what happened. Here's the note. Ask them yourself. And yeah, now the family group chat is a dumpster fire. Some people are saying I'm being petty, others saying my parents went too far. Everyone's got an opinion. To be honest, I just mute the chat. Meanwhile, my parents are starting to realize how much stuff I actually handle for them. Stuff starts piling up. My mom calls me in a panic because she can't log into her online banking. I set it up for her. She forgot the password and now she's locked out. I tell her I have other things to do. Maybe she should call her bank. She starts yelling, then just hangs up. Later, I see a post from her on Facebook complaining about ungrateful children. Classic. This goes on for a few days. My dad texts me asking if I can come by to help with something. I just reply that I'm busy. Leah still won't talk about Christmas. Crew's quiet, but I catch him texting a friend about how Grandpa's a jerk. Savannah's caught in the middle. Tries to get me to call a truce, but I tell her I'm not backing down. Not this time. The Real kicker came yesterday. My parents host a New Year's brunch every year. Big deal for them. All about showing off for their friends and the family. Usually, I go early and help set up, arrange, do the heavy lifting. This time, I just didn't show that I got a barrage of missed calls, texts, voicemails all day. Finally, my dad shows up at my house, pounding on the door, yelling at me to open up. I crack the door. He tries to push past me. I block him. He tries to shove me. I just stand there. Savannah comes out and tells him to leave. He yells that I'm tearing the family apart. I slammed the door on him. So now I'm getting the silent treatment and the guilt trip at the same time. Aunt Harper texts again, says I should think about family and everyone makes mistakes. I tell her I'm not interested in apologies unless they're to my kids. And even then, I don't want anything to do with them right now. She sighs, says she understands, but I can tell she doesn't. I'm not done. Not even close. This is just the first domino. My parents want to play games. Fine. But I don't think they realize how much of their normal depends on me behind the scenes. I've got more planned and I'm not going to stop until they feel it. I didn't start this, but I'm damn well going to finish it. I'll post again when the next thing hits. Just wait. Update 2. So yeah, once loyal again. If you read the last post, you know I started pulling all my help from my parents after what they did to my kids at Christmas. I figured it would take a while before they really felt it. But to be honest, it's already getting messy and I'm not even finished yet. I don't feel bad. Not one bit. In fact, part of me is surprised how fast they cracked. So, this started a few days after New Year's. I keep getting these random texts from my mom, like, "Can you come over and look at the faucet?" Then, Wi-Fi is out again. Stuff she never even used to say thank you for, just expected. I just read them and keep doing what I'm doing. Savannah sees me ignoring my phone and says, maybe it's enough. But nah. I tell her I'm not letting it go. Not after the note. Not after Leah spent 2 days refusing to leave her room. Then I noticed something kind of funny in a petty way. My parents' Facebook is suddenly all about family values and how kids today don't appreciate what they have. I swear my mom's posting memes about selfish children and being abandoned. I screenshot that stuff. My Aunt Harper texts me again saying she saw my mom at church looking upset, then asks if I really want to make this public. I just say, ask my parents what they gave my kids for Christmas. Meanwhile, Dale's wife, Sophia, sends Savannah this super fake message about how kids can be sensitive and sometimes grown-ups forget. Savannah doesn't even reply. She just puts her phone in the drawer and leaves it there, which is honestly the most screw-you thing I've seen her do. Leah still won't go near my parents' house. Crew said if they try to visit, he's not opening the door. So, my parents finally start to get desperate. First big thing, I get this voicemail from my dad, all tense, saying he needs help with some paperwork. I know exactly what it is. Every year I help them with the property tax stuff because my dad doesn't get how the online forms work. He still uses a flip phone half the time. And every year he acts like it's not a big deal. This time he's stuck. I just delete the voicemail. Then the family grapevine kicks in. My cousin once loyal, yeah, there's 2 of us. Don't ask. My grandma had a thing with names, messages me. Hey, is something up with your folks? They're calling around asking for help with stuff you usually do. I tell him I'm out. He can do what he wants. He says he's busy and leaves it at that. A day later, I hear through the group chat that my parents tried to get Dale to help with the taxes and he told them he doesn't have time. I know for a fact he's just sitting at home playing Xbox, but whatever. Now, my mom starts calling Savannah directly. She's laying it on thick, telling her that family is everything and that she just wants to talk to the kids. Savannah says she'll ask them if they want to talk. Leah says no. Crew says hell no. His words, not mine. Savannah tells my mom that and my mom hangs up on her. The next day, I get a knock on the door at like 8 in the morning. I open it. It's my dad. He tries to push past me. I block him. He starts ranting, saying I'm ruining everything. He tries to guilt trip me. Says I know they can't handle all this stuff alone. Says, this is what happens when you let women run things. I step in front of him and tell him he's not coming in. Not unless he's here to apologize to my kids directly. He tries to shove me. I just stand there. Savannah comes to the door, tells him to leave. He slaps his hand on the door frame and storms off, muttering about ungrateful kids. After that, it gets wild. My parents start calling everyone. I get texts from cousins I haven't talked to in months, from old neighbors, even from my high school buddy Dale. Different Dale, I know, confusing, asking what's going on. I just send them the photo of the note my son got. Most of them stop texting after that. One cousin says, "Wow, that's messed up." And that's it. Then Dale, my brother, finally gets involved. He calls me, acting all calm at first. Says maybe we should talk it out. I tell him I'm not talking about anything until my parents apologize to my kids. Not to me, to them. He gets annoyed. Says I'm making it impossible for anyone to move on. Says I'm being vindictive and Mom's not well. I ask him if his kids would be okay getting a note like that. He goes quiet, then tells me I'm being dramatic. I hang up. So now my parents are stuck. They can't get anything done. Can't get anyone to help. And everyone in the family knows what happened. I hear from Harper that my mom tried to organize a family intervention at Aunt Leah's house, but nobody showed up except for her and Dale. Apparently, my mom tried to make a speech about how family is forgiveness, but nobody wanted to listen. Aunt Leah told her straight up, "No one's interested until she apologizes." And my mom got mad and stormed out, slammed the door. I see my dad at the store later that week. He tries to ignore me, then comes up and says I should be ashamed for airing family business. I tell him again, apologize to my kids, and he just walks off. I hear later from Crew that my dad tried to call him, but Crew blocked his number. The money pressure is starting to show, too. I get a message from their lawn guy asking if I'm still covering the bill. I tell him, nope, they have to pay now. He says, okay, but he hasn't heard from them, so he's not coming by. Next time I drive past their house, the grass is already getting long. It's a small thing, but it's the first time I've ever seen their place look less than perfect. The best part is I haven't actually done anything illegal or even mean. Just stopped doing everything they took for granted. All the little things add up. I hear from Harper again. She says my mom is at her wit's end and that she's never seen her like this. I tell her again, apologize to my kids. That's all I want. I can tell Dale's getting annoyed, too, because now he's getting the calls and the errands. He texts me, says I'm making his life harder, and I just reply, not my problem. Savannah says, maybe I should just let it fade. But the way Leah and Crew act now around anything family tells me it's not enough yet. I want my parents to feel this. Not just for a week, but until they actually get it. So yeah, now my parents are telling everyone I'm destroying the family. They keep saying it like it's some big accusation, but honestly, I'm just done being the backup plan. They made their choice when they humiliated my kids. Now they get to live with it. Next update when they finally break or when the next domino falls. To be honest, I'm not even sure what comes first. Final update. Alright, once loyal again. I said I'd update and not going to lie, this one's going to be a mess. Not because I'm lost or whatever. It's just wild how fast things can fall apart when you stop carrying other people's weight. Like I always knew my parents had no clue how much I did for them. But watching it hit all at once, damn. It's like watching a house fall in slow motion. So, first thing, Mom started sending group texts out of nowhere, like those long rambling ones with weird grammar and half caps, asking people to come help around the house because once loyal is refusing to be a good son. I'm in the group. She knows I'll see it. She says stuff like, family is everything and this used to be a loving home. I just leave her on read. Nobody chimes in. Even Harper just thumbs up reacts and moves on. Then I get a call from Dale, which I ignore. So, he comes by the house. I see him through the window pacing on the porch like he's going to wear a hole in it. Savannah tells me not to answer, but I open the door anyway because I'm tired of the passive stuff. He comes in hot, says I'm making his life impossible. Says Mom's crying every night and Dad barely speaks to anyone. I tell him, you know what happened. Tell me with a straight face you'd take that if it was your kids. He just stands there, arms crossed, jaw moving, but nothing coming out. Then he says, you're blowing it out of proportion. They're old. You know how they are. I tell him, if being old lets you treat kids like dirt, I hope I never end up like that. He tries to get up in my face. I shut the door between us and walk off. He bangs on it. Savannah tells him to go home. He leaves, slamming the gate so hard it rattles. After that, the calls get more desperate. My mom starts calling Savannah instead of me, leaving voicemails about how she never thought she'd see the day her own son would betray her. Savannah just deletes them. Leah asks if she has to answer Grandma's calls. I tell her, nope, not unless she wants to. Crew blocks their numbers, then comes to me later and asks if it's okay to tell his friends what happened. I say, tell anyone you want. I don't care. Then the money stuff starts to bite them. The lawn's a mess. The mailbox is overflowing, and my dad actually had to call a plumber, not me. For once. I hear from Harper that my parents complained the plumber charged too much. I laugh. They've never paid for a repair in years. I get a text from my mom saying, "You'll regret this when we're gone." I leave it on read. My parents try to get other family to help, but everyone's got their own lives. Dale does the bare minimum, sends a grocery delivery, but he won't go over. I hear from my cousin Sophia that my mom tried to guilt trip her into cleaning the house, and Sophia told her flat out, "Once loyal always did it. Maybe you should call him." My mom hangs up on her. Now the family chat's basically dead. Nobody wants to say anything. Every time someone posts a meme or a photo, my mom tries to turn it into a guilt trip, but people just ignore her. Harper finally texts me privately, says, "Your mom's not taking this well. Maybe just go talk to her." I tell her, I've said what needs saying. I want my kids to get an apology. Harper says, "She's stubborn. You know that." I say, "I'm more stubborn than the big one." My parents show up at my door, both of them, which literally never happened. Mom's got makeup running. Dad's red in the face. They try to come inside. I block the door. Dad pushes my shoulder. I push him back. He raises his hand and I just stand there staring at him. Nothing happens. Mom starts yelling, says, "You're destroying the family." Says she can't believe her own son would do this. I tell her, "You humiliated my kids and you don't even care." She says, "It was just a joke. They're too sensitive." I say, "You think a note like that is a joke? You think giving a kid toilet paper is funny?" Crew comes up behind me and tells her, "I'm not coming to your house ever again." Leah stands behind Savannah and just stares at the floor. Savannah tells them to leave. Mom tries to push past her. Savannah steps in front and slams the door. They stand outside for a while, then leave. Dad peels out of the driveway. I hear from Dale later that Mom spent all day calling people crying, saying I locked her out of her own family. Dale says I should suck it up. I tell him I'm done talking. Now the rumors start. Someone in my mom's book club posts on Facebook about children who forget their parents, and suddenly I'm getting random texts from people I barely know. I send them the picture of the note. One person says, "Wow, didn't expect that." Nobody else replies. Harper texts again, says, "Maybe you should take the high road." I say, "I'm not interested." The next week, Dad tries to call me at work hours, then shows up at the house again. This time, Savannah answers and tells him, "You're not coming in. Not unless you apologize." He yells, says, "We're ungrateful." Slaps the side of the house, and leaves. Now, my parents are struggling for money. I know for a fact they can't keep up with everything because I start getting emails from companies I used to pay for saying payment declined. I ignore them. They start selling stuff online. Old furniture, collectibles, all the stuff they used to brag about. Dale tries to get me to help. Says it's not fair to let them go under. I tell him, "You fix it then." He says he can't. I say, "Then don't talk to me." The family is split. Harper's on the fence. Some cousins back me. Some just keep quiet. Leah and Crew are happier now, honestly. Leah got invited to a sleepover and didn't even ask if Grandma would be mad. Crew started playing soccer again. Says he doesn't care if Grandpa ever shows up. Savannah says she's proud of me for not caving, which is a first. So yeah, my parents keep screaming, keep saying I'm destroying the family, but I just keep living my life. I don't answer their calls. I don't show up for anything. I don't help them at all. I tell everyone who asks this ends when my kids get a real apology, Not just some sorry you felt that way crap. Until then, they're on their own. And honestly, I'm not done. Every time I see that note, every time I think about Leah hiding in her room, I know I did the right thing.